What's going on, everyone? Welcome
Yo,
to
what do you think, Rob?
it.
What do you think, bro?
Oh my god, that's nice.
Hey, you like it? I'm bringing it out because the Celtics have an important game, although it's not a real championship. It is a Summer League championship, the first they're competing for in Summer League Celtics franchise history. Uh, let's go. I'm excited. Pre-game live. I'm excited. Rob's trying to get all of his audio fixed. but we got a big game. 9 o'clock p.m. tip off, which is just in 25 minutes. God forbid that Warriors game goes into double overtime and the Celtics don't actually start until then. But for now, the Celtics start at 9 p.m. Peyton Pritchard returning to the Summer League. We'll get into that. We'll get into our three keys of the game. I mean, this is the biggest game of the Summer League, and this is the first time we've experienced this as Celtics fans. Obviously, people say Summer League isn't such a big deal. Well, in my opinion, when you have 7 players on the Summer League roster that's on the Celtics roster this year, official roster this year, it is a big deal. So I'm really looking forward to this. Rob, are we good to
We're
go?
good to go. We're good to go. And I completely agree. There's two ways to look at the summer league. One, like, it's not that big of a deal. A lot of teams really, their summer league guys aren't really translating and playing on their regular season
Mhm.
team. They're a final 15-man roster. But if you look at this Boston Celtics team, there's what you say, 7 guys that
Yeah.
are gonna find time in getting rotation minutes. You like guys like Pritchard, Langford, Edwards, Neesmith. So it's definitely good to see the Celtics playing well in the summer league because these are guys who are going to be playing for us in the regular
Yeah.
season a decent amount.
Yeah, and you also have to watch out for some guys off the bench. I mean, we could see like that Zach August kid. We could see him. What if he gets a training camp deal? Celtics normally go with the 20 man roster for training camp, and we might see him make a tryout. And we do have a 2-way contract spot available next to Sam Hauser. So who knows? Maybe somebody can make some late impressions here. Celtics Kings tipping off in just 20 minutes. We're so I'm wicked excited. I've been looking forward to this all day. It's helped me get through the day. Both teams are coming in undefeated, 4-0, 8-0 combined. I mean, the Celtics have just dominated this whole summer league. I mean, besides maybe game one where it was close, Sharif Cooper was just going nuts. What has made this team so valuable is you see almost a 22 point differential.
Well, one thing I can say is definitely the experience from Langford, Neesmith, and Pritchard. Most teams don't have 3 guys who have kind of played playoff. Forget regular season, played playoff, real
Edwards as
playoff
well.
minutes. Yeah, Edwards too. He's found himself in the rotation. So we definitely have the advantage there, right? We
Mm-hmm.
have a very good summer league roster. Um, but in terms of our play style and what we've been doing well, I'd say the advantage has definitely been our defense. The Boston Celtics are getting stops first, something that we're not used to seeing a Celtics team do over the past year. They're really just buckled down and managed to get a stop and then get a bucket. And
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of these summer league teams and even NBA teams, right? You see, teams so focused on when's the next bucket, and I think the summer league C's team is saying like, all right, when's the next stop?
Yeah, exactly. And I've kind of said this kind of phrase throughout the summer league. The scoring is like the cherry on top because I think we've yet to let up 85 plus points, anywhere above 85. And then on top of that, you're averaging about 105 points a game. I don't know if that's the exact number, but it's right around there. And you got to also remember, Rob, although we're kind of focused on the defense, these are 10-minute quarters. These are 2 4 6. These are 8-minute less games, right?
Yeah.
And the Celtics are putting up what they'd put up in a regular season, right around 108 points. That's insane to me. So that's super, super valuable. I think tonight is obviously going to be the toughest matchup for the Celtics. Uh, Getting Peyton Pritchard back is huge. We'll get into that. I'm just really excited. This should be a good game as you can catch it on ESPN. We're just 20 minutes away.
Well, someone you mentioned is Peyton Pritchard, who is active tonight. He was pulled from the
Hmm.
summer league due to not wanting to get injured. Personal, he goes to Oregon. He drops what was it, 92 and then
92
65,
and 60.
and then they
Yeah.
activate him back for the championship game tonight. Like you said, 9 o'clock. We're gonna cover you right up until the tip. So I feel like, we're going to get into our keys to the game, but, you know, if we're looking for someone in the summer league, I've always been saying, let's look for different sources. Let's,
Mm-hmm.
see, like, Pritchard, show me something you haven't shown me before.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm saying get the ball to Pritchard and let this man go to work,
Yeah.
because, like,
100%. Yeah.
I'm a man that's like, all right, summer league, you win, you lose, it's not too big of a deal. But if we're the summer league championship, you might as well go there and get the dub. So
Oh yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I mean the Celtics definitely are in it to win it this year. You know, and it's kind of in the motto. We didn't just come here to lose; we came here to win. Right? They're
Yeah,
trying to impress coaches around the league, not just within the Celtics organization. So I think guys are just playing tremendous. Yamadar is questionable tonight, but we've seen some great performance out of him in the minutes that he's earned. He's been able to get. But get the ball into Peyton Pritchard's hands. I think that right there is just all three keys like together. Is just
yeah, really.
get the ball in Peyton Pritchard's hands. And when the ball isn't in Peyton Pritchard's hands, or when the ball is in Peyton Pritchard's hand, people need to move around, create open looks. Peyton Pritchard is a hell of a playmaker. I believe he's averaging 8 assists this summer league. So get guys open. Aaron Nesmith, a big portion of his shots made this summer league has come from Peyton Pritchard. So I'm really looking to get not only Pritchard going, but let's see if we can get the dynamic duo of Aaron Nesmith and Peyton Pritchard, the two gentlemen sitting right behind me tonight.
Well, someone who I would love to see get going, and after this we are going to get into our three keys to the game, is Romeo Langford.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying it all summer league. Romeo hasn't disappointed me, but he hasn't impressed me. I feel like he's kind of been okay with falling in, playing fourth fiddle offensively behind Edwards, Nesmith, and Pritchard. And that kind of does make sense. I do think Langford is a big reason, is the reason to our defensive success. He's proven that he can, get a stop at a high NBA level. So, I'm looking for Romeo Langford. I want to see something out of Romeo Langford, and that does bring us to our three keys to the game. Justin, what do you have for us?
I just said it. Get the ball in Peyton Pritchard's hands, right? Peyton Pritchard, let him go to work. He's coming off of a 92-point game and a 60-point game, averaging 23 this summer league, 23 and 8. He has the utmost confidence in the world. Get the ball into Pritchard's hands. Let him work.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Peyton Pritchard is definitely a key to this game. And something I want to see the Boston Celtics do is continue to strap up on the defensive side of the basketball. This Kings team is a very talented team. They're also 4-0. They're going to come to play. They're also looking to win a chip. The guys on the other team don't have a secure roster spot like a lot of these C's guys do. So they're looking to, come out and impress coaches and scouts, like you said. They're not looking to go overseas again. So I'm saying buckle up and play some defense, play some physical defense.
Yeah, and another key to the game is I really want to see the Celtics keep hitting their shots, right? Create open looks for each other. That doesn't just go for Peyton Pritchard. The Celtics have been very, very, very good ball moving team this summer, and just continue that into the championship game. Play as a team. No, don't play any selfish basketball. We get the stakes are high. We understand that you want to show up on the biggest stage of the summer, but just play team basketball and play the way that you got here, if that makes any sense at all, or if you know what I mean. Play the same way as if you would to get to the championship. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a huge game. We get emotions are probably going to be high. Everyone's going to want the ball in their hands, but just play it as another game. Play relaxed and move the ball around.
Yeah. Like we said, it's going to be a lot of emotions. It's the summer league. Do we know the last time the Boston Celtics have been in the summer league championship, if they've ever been in one?
I don't know that. I know they never won. So, whether they've been there or not, they've never won. And tonight could be a historic night. I know people, oh, sorry, oh, it's just summer league. But again, it's really important if you know the Celtics situation where last year you weren't a winning team, and that it's a nice breath of fresh air, right? It kind of gives
Yeah.
you a lot of confidence and hope. Is you see these guys that are fighting for a spot in a rotation on the actual roster. It's extremely, you know, makes you happy to see how well these guys are playing. And another name I want to mention is Bruno Fernando, because
Yeah.
we haven't talked enough about him. I understand he joined the summer league team later, but Bruno Fernando was acquired by the Boston Celtics in that three-team deal with Sacramento. We shipped out Tristan Thompson. We got back, who was it, Chris Dunn, as well as Bruno Fernando in a second-round pick. Um, but Bruno Fernando has that Kevin Garnett-esque type, confidence where he's emotional, he's aggressive, he's physical, and that's something that this summer league team, can really use, right? Somebody like that. Where we're a very small team. We kind of get taught. We figured, oh, we're so small. Our biggest guy is 6'10". We might get tossed around. Not with Bruno. That's not the case with Bruno Fernando in the lineup.
Well, you mentioned size, and something I want to, put out there. I think is also, something big is that if you look at the, Sacramento Kings roster, they're undersized as well. A lot of they have 1 7-footer. Their starting big man, I believe, is 6'9". Um,
Who's the
and
one that got suspended? Somebody got suspended last night. They threw a punch. Was that their center?
I think that might have been Nemias Kuta, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is their center. They got some like we said, we got some good talent like Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, Davion
He
Mitchell's
high
really good.
draft pick, stud out of Butler or
Mm.
Baylor, not Butler. They have Jamias Ramsey. He's another guy that got real minutes. So they definitely have some guys that can give us trouble as I'm looking down the
Oh
roster.
yeah, there's a reason why they're there.
Yeah, they also have the youngest Antetokounmpo. They got Alex Antetokounmpo on the roster as well.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah,
This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be really fun. It's going to be interesting. I really hope it's not a blowout. At least, Kings blowing us out. I don't know. I just, Peyton Pritchard coming back into the summer league just really gives me a lot more confidence than I might have previously had. I mean, the way he was playing, it doesn't mean he's going to play like that tonight, but, you kind of hope that he does show up on the biggest stage of the, summer league.
for sure. And,
I'm excited.
with that being said, though, we got some extra time before tip, and something I want to talk about live. I also want to hear what some of you guys have to say about it if you're watching. So let us know. News broke earlier today about the Evan Fournier signing. We thought originally that we lost Evan Fournier kind of for nothing, but President Brad and Brad we trust. He
Yes.
managed to pull through. Got a $17.1 million trade exception. We sent 2 second-round picks along with Evan Fournier in return for that $17.1 million. That does mean the Boston Celtics now have a total of $31.8 million to spend on trade exceptions. I believe we have until the end of this season to use them.
That's incredible. That is
Justin, so
incredible.
do you think this is way of Brad Stevens saying I'm not really done yet? I'm going to wait until the deadline. So kind of, how Danny kind of Magic were selling low, and he swooped in, got Fournier for a second-round pick. Do you think Brad might be looking for a deadline move that he can swoop in and use that exception for?
Yeah, and just the way he's done it is just really impressive, right? Not letting people go for nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that what happened with Danny Ainge. We let a lot of valuable players walk without getting anything in return.
Well,
Luckily,
he hasn't let anyone walk for free yet. No one who's walked
no,
for free.
no one. I mean, we talked about it. Tristan Thompson gone, brings in, who did we get? Oh,
Chris Dunn, Fernando, and 9.1 in trade exceptions.
exactly, and then as well as Daniel Tice. I know this was a Danny Ainge move, but I think we have some the trade exception, $5 million or something like that for Daniel Tice.
Yep.
So I'm really impressed with how Brad Stevens has done. The Marcus Smart signing was great, but I don't know if it was great for nearly $80 million.
Yeah, well, my
There's
thought
like
on
parts
this.
of me is it's like, oh, this is great, and then it's like maybe a little
So
expensive.
we're definitely we're gonna talk about Marcus Smart a good amount on the post game show once we cover the game. Go check that out for sure. Post game right after tip off, we're gonna be talking. But the thing with Marcus Smart is Would I have liked to prefer to pay $15 million instead of 19 a year? Yeah. 15, 16, right? Would have been happy with 14, somewhere around that
Mm-hmm.
ballpark. Is 19 really like in my opinion, you got to pay. You got to pay. Like, if you want to win a championship, you got to pay sometimes. I mean, you got to go to the hard cap. It's enough time. I think enough's enough of us just kind of letting guys walk.
Mm-hmm.
I think Smart is a guy where he is worth the money we paid. Maybe $1 to $2 million a year too much, right? $3
Yeah.
million a year too much. But if it means Smart's around for another 4 years or 5 years too, I'm all for it. I know some
Yeah.
people are skeptical on it.
I'm I've said this, like, how many times have I said this? It's so hard to see this Celtics team. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's so hard to see this Celtics team win a championship without Marcus Smart in uniform.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. I don't know if it's because he's been here nearly a decade. He's been here 7 years, but it's going to be like, I think Marcus Smart is somebody, at least mentally and emotionally, to have on the team. Like, he's as close to a Kevin Garnett, I feel like, as we've had in a while,
And
right?
I think he's going to be big for us this upcoming season too, in a sense where you could see him give. He could give us 14 a night. In the playoffs, he gave us 18, which is obviously no Brown, no Kemba, no Rob Will throughout the playoffs. So the scoring had to come from somewhere. Um, but like I said, I think he definitely needs to work on his shot selection. I think he
Mm-hmm.
does get a little careless with the basketball. But defensively, I think he's top five in the perimeter defender. I think what he gives you on offense is he gives you a lot of grit. He gives you a lot of he gives him some solid scoring.
You know, he's a decent scorer, he's a decent shooter, but like you said, it's his shot selection that people have a problem with, right? Shooting 12
Yeah,
threes a game, and nine out of 12 of them are fadeaways with three people on him, right? Kind of like a J.R. Smith type player where he hits these
yeah.
circus shots. I
Well,
think I think it's more of a shot selection problem for Marcus.
my biggest thing with this is one of our writers was saying the timing doesn't make sense, right? We could have just signed him next summer, right? Used our bird rights on him, and it doesn't affect our cap, right? um for next year. My thing with Smart is Smart would have gotten a bigger offer than 77 mil. He would have. Smart would have gotten a deal from a contending team or a team like Washington who just threw 21 at Dinwiddie. Smart would get right around 90 over 4 from a team. He would. It's what the market would be in play for Smart. Like we said, Durant's off the market next year. I believe Harden's going to be off the market. They're trying to extend him. So the player pool is getting smaller, and I think his value would have gone up and up. Obviously, we'll talk about this in the post game show as well. Ian will be joining us there. We also talked. Do we talk about it on the podcast? No, it happened right after the podcast ended. Like
If you
right
guys
after.
haven't watched the podcast or listened to it, we do it on YouTube now. I think it was not even arguably, it was the best episode we've ever recorded. It was hilarious. I know we probably say that about every
Definitely.
episode we record, but it
No,
was
this
the
one was
best.
good. This one was really, really good.
And it's all raw too. Like, dude, I didn't expect those like things at the end. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but I
Yeah,
can't.
we
I
put
don't
it.
want to do it here. I don't want to do it here because we'll just spoil it. You guys are gonna have to go watch, even if you don't want to watch
Yeah,
the whole thing. Just kind of click through it, and you'll pick out parts that you like because it's
yeah, for
hilarious.
sure. It is. It is a good one. With that being said, though, we are winding down to Celtics tip off against the Sacramento Kings in the Summer League title. Justin's kissing the title
Yes,
because he's
sir.
looking to see Boston raise their first ever Summer League championship. Justin, we talk about this every pregame show. What is something that we want to see carry over from last game into this game?
Peyton Pritchard. That's who I want. I want to see a 50 bomb from Peyton Pritchard tonight. Probably won't
50.
happen. No, it won't. But I want to see it. I think he can go for 30 tonight. What do you think? No? You think 30's too much?
I
Gotta
think
remember it's 10 minutes quarters, actually.
I think Pritchard's going to give us a solid. I think it's going to be a well distributed game. I think Pritchard will give us 15 to 20. Neesmith gives us 15-20. Edwards gives us 15. Langford gives us 12.
If
Fernando
Sam
gives us
Hauser
8.
gets going tonight, it's over. It's so over
Yeah,
if Sam
we
Hauser gets
got
going.
that's something we got to talk about too after in the post game show is Sam Hauser. He's the Celtics have been looking for a stretch forward to back up Jason Tatum. Hauser's on a 2-way deal. If we can get this guy a little bit more polished up, he's a big shooter, 6'8" out of Virginia. He could find himself in the rotation. But like I said, Boston Celtics versus Sacramento Kings,
I'm hyped.
9 o'clock,
I'm so
Summer
hyped.
League. If you're not following us on our social, we just rebranded. We're no longer the Celtics Talk Weekly. We're just Celtics Talk Weekly now. Our podcast is still the Celtics Talk Weekly. Big difference. But if you haven't
But
noticed, go check us out.
we are still like the Celtics Talk
Celtics
Weekly
Talk Weekly,
people.
but we're just not the Celtics Talk Weekly, if you know what I mean. But go check us out on Instagram. We're gonna be we post quarter updates. So it's gonna be a fun one. Like I said, very active. Go follow us on Twitter. We're never active there, but we'll appreciate your follow. I'm Rob. That's
Hell of a
Justin.
promotion, Rob. Hell of a
We'll
promotion.
see you guys at the post game.